You're watching the nation's best college newscast. 11 News at Noon starts now.
Rebuilding schools. Provo School District is asking for money to rebuild 5 schools, while people in Provo think about the bond.
Refresh your webpage. Provo Mayor John Curtis put the new city website into service only seconds ago. What designers did to make it more user-friendly.
And remote control racing. RC cars are fun for little kids, but wait till you see how important they are to these adult racers in Magna. I'm Madison Wright.
And I'm Eliza Bishop. Welcome to 11 News at Noon. Municipal elections ended last week, but Provo School District already has an item on the ballot for next year.
Not much of a break from local politics for people in Provo. The school district wants voters to be aware of a bond that would fix up schools that are falling apart. 11 News reporter Sarah Chamberlain tells us how their plans could raise your taxes.
Provo District says they need a $90 million bond to help deteriorating schools in the area. That's a big number, which means the cause could face an uphill battle to get approved.
Hi, Kevin.
Dixon Middle School is one of the 5 schools included in the Provo School District bond. Dixon is now more than 80 years old and its age shows. Walking around the campus, it's easy to spot the cracks in the floor and walls.
You know, as buildings age, the bricks on the exterior of the building, there's some cracks there that we hope that if there were ever to be an earthquake, it's something that would be of a concern to us.
If the bond passes, the district will rebuild Dixon and 4 other schools on the taxpayers' dime. The new bond won't be cheap, but the Provo School Board says the sacrifice is worth it.
Time necessitates upgrades, and when we can do it, we don't feel like we're asking too much of our taxpayers to support these schools.
Many who live near Dixon say they don't know enough about the bond to have an opinion, but one Provo parent says a little less money each month is worth it when it comes to her children's education.
We have a daughter that will be junior high age in just a couple of years here, and we had already decided that she won't be attending Dixon unless they do something to improve the building.
The Provo School Board says they want to hear the voice of the community and encourages them to attend informational meetings throughout the month.
Provo School District is holding their first open house on the bond tonight at Rock Canyon Elementary School from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eliza?
Leaders from the Ute Indian tribe say they want to change their existing agreement with the University of Utah. The tribe's business committee says they want tuition waivers for their native Ute students instead of scholarships. Ute leaders say the new proposal will make it easier for their youth to go to college. The school originally negotiated this agreement with the tribe in exchange for using their name. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but can it fight crime too? Provo police say yes. 11 News reporter Sam Hancock looks at 2 paintings trying to make Provo a safer place.
The Provo City River Trail is a great place for anyone looking to get some fresh air. But lately, the stretch from University Parkway to 800 North looks more like a desolate road than a jogger's paradise. The trail has a stigma of crime, which is scaring many people away.
On the whole, the trail is still very safe. It's just that there have been a few incidents that have worried people.
People will see more litter, graffiti, and unwanted guests than exercisers, but one of the main problems are the tunnels. They're dark and windy, making it difficult for anyone to see if there's potential danger ahead.
Anyone using the trail has a choice. They can either go down the dark tunnel, or they can try their luck at the busy street.
To fix the problem, Provo police enlisted the help of local artist Jess Smiley. They commissioned him to paint murals in 2 of the tunnels to change dark and scary to bright and fun.
Just makes people feel safer, and that's what we want, that perception that it is a safer place.
Smiley received help from more than 50 volunteers and was happy to make his community a little bit safer.
I hope it just makes the trail more enjoyable for people and they find more reasons to come out.
We still don't know if the new murals will bring more runners to the trail, but Provo police say it's a good start. In Provo, Sam Hancock, 11 News.
The 2 murals are located at Columbia Lane and 820 North. 3 additional tunnels are located along the trail, and Provo police say they are working on getting them painted as well.
What started out as a routine fuel stop at Vernal Regional Airport turned into a major drug bust. Uintah County Sheriff's deputies arrested an Idaho man after K-9 units indicated he had drugs inside his aircraft. Police confiscated 180 pounds of marijuana valued at nearly $500,000. If you say remote control cars are only for kids, then you should think again. 11 News reporter Fong Pham visits an RC race show to show us how these cars become a hobby for grown-ups.
Jenny Johnson is a familiar face at the Intermountain RC Raceway in Martin. She comes here twice a week for her love of racing.
It's just fun to get better and to start being able to compete with people and see that you can actually do it. Because at first I really sucked.
With frequent practice in her free time, now she no longer feels pressure, being one of only a few women in the club.
I like it when I beat the guys, I'm not gonna lie.
RC racing is becoming more and more of a pastime for speed lovers. According to the leading RC racing website, there are now more than 600 registered racetracks around the US. These raceways create a place for competition in a friendly atmosphere, regardless of your age.
We have a good group of people racing out here. Some families, some older people, or older gentlemen. But we have good times out here, and the camaraderie between the racers is really good.
Racers can choose either a buggy or a truck and compete in different classes, depending on the car's features.
Once you get into the hobby, it's not cheap at all to stay with it. Cars like this can cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000, plus monthly expenses.
While most people enjoy the competition, it's important to keep the cars tuned up.
What I find very interesting is just all the mechanics with the cars, all the things you can do, all the things you can test, tune, tires. There's so many things that play a factor in what the car does going around the track.
Apart from the cost, maintenance can take a lot of time. Wrenching helps prevent the car from getting damaged, as flips and bumps happen all the time.
Sometimes it can be a little bit stressful, just since it does take a little bit of time to actually work on them. It's not like you can just take 10 minutes of your day and work on it.
Local racers try to get their hands on different terrains and tracks, so they can meet new friends with the same interest.
RC car is the best.
In Magna, Fong Pham, 11 News.
RC car lovers in Utah can join the fun at Intermountain Raceway for the State Off-Road Championship this Friday and Saturday. The race entry fee is $10 for novice and $30 for other classes.
Those look like a lot of fun. When 11 News at noon returns. Revamped website, Provo City's site is getting a whole new look. We'll give you a sneak peek on how it's putting the needs of the community members first.
And bridge over troubled water. Some big changes for a big bridge in San Francisco. We'll show you the careful demolition that just started. Stay with us. If you've ever logged onto Provo City's website and gotten lost, you're not alone. Today the city plans to change that by giving their website a much-needed facelift. 11 News reporter Sydney Carlson spoke with the mayor about his plans for the new site. Sydney, how long has the city been working on this new design?
Web designers have actually been working on this site for about a year now. The mayor said with the old site, it was really easy to get lost in all of the clutter.
Navigating Provo City website can be confusing to say the least. Something as simple as paying your utility bill means going through several pages of information. But today the city launched a new website that they say changes all of that.
Our biggest goal is that we'll be more engaging. That more people will use it, they'll find that it's easy to navigate, and it will help them understand their city better.
Not only will the website be easier to navigate, the mayor says it offers a simple way for people to connect with city officials and know what's going on in the city.
We believe this website will open up in a lot of ways what we do and give our residents access to us and what we're doing and make us far more transparent to them.
To ensure that transparency, the city has made the site available on all mobile devices.
The website's supposed to launch today. All the information that was on the old website will be available on the new one. If you take a look at the old website, you can. The city said that the new website was supposed to be up at noon. It's not quite there yet, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what's in store. But it's supposed to be a lot cleaner and crisp and a lot easier to navigate. Live in the newsroom, Sydney Carlson, 11 News.
So if there is a problem, is there a way for users to let the city know about that?
Yeah, the mayor says that there's going to be a feature on the website where you can give feedback. He says he hopes that people will go on the site as soon as it's up and let the city know what they think.
All right, thanks, Sydney.
Demolition on an old San Francisco bridge, new guidelines may mean more people on cholesterol reducers, and former president tells Obama to keep his promise. Here's your look at news across the nation. It's the beginning of the end for the eastern span of the San Francisco's Bay Bridge. Now that the shiny new bridge is finished, it's time to take down its predecessor. The 77-year-old connection won't disappear overnight. Workers say demolition is a long process and will take about 3 years for the bridge to disappear completely. Even if your cholesterol levels are normal, the American Heart Association says you still might need reducers. New association guidelines mean that the number of prescriptions for cholesterol pills could double in the United States. The guidelines say that disease history, age, and other factors will help determine whether or not you need a prescription. Former President Bill Clinton is standing up for millions of Americans who could be losing their current health care plans because of Obamacare. Clinton, among other Republicans and Democrats, says President Obama should honor his original promise that if you like your health care, keep your plan. White House spokesman Jay Carney says they are trying to find ways to keep that promise. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Madison?
It's creeping up on the middle of November and it's still light jacket weather. How much longer can we expect this for, Kathleen?
Actually, not much longer. We might see some rain and even some snow later on this weekend. I'll let you know more with 11 weather when we return. All right, middle of November, and it's starting to look like winter is coming this way. As you can see here, we've got some clouds happening here and even some snow on the mountains, but that snow is not going to start accumulating until later this week. However, right now in Provo, it's about 55 degrees with about 44% humidity, and the wind's blowing about 6 miles an hour, so it's just a little bit breezy, but we do have some clouds in the sky right now, so it's a little overcast, but that'll continue on a little bit later today. Actually, it'll clear out later today, but it'll be 34 degrees tonight with mostly clear skies and just a few winds, so it won't be too windy, but it'll just be enough to where you need a little bit more of a coat later on tonight. And as far as daytime highs goes, it's mostly in the 60s here today. 60 up in Logan, 62 and 63 in Salt Lake and Provo, and then St. George, it's about 74 degrees, so it's a little bit warmer. And then also in some places it's even in the 50s like Price and Wendover, but for the most part it's also sunny throughout the state with just a few clouds happening in eastern Utah. And if we take a closer look at southern Utah the rest of this week, the middle of the week will start off nice and in the 70s with some sunshine going on, and then the temperatures will drop down into the 60s and even 57 on Sunday with a few clouds. It'll be partly sunny and some clouds happening this weekend. And so watch out for that if you're going to church this weekend. Bundle up a little bit in St. George. And northern Utah, the similar story, but we do have some lower temp, but it'll be a little bit colder. We've got 62 degrees on Wednesday, and then as we go in throughout the rest of the week, Friday and Saturday, a slight chance of rain and some snow, a little bit of a bigger chance of snow on Saturday. However, that snow should not accumulate, so don't worry about. You might just have some frost on your windows, but that snow shouldn't accumulate. But there will be a chance of precipitation this weekend.
You know what? With the holidays coming up, I think I'm ready for some snow. I'm ready to bring on the cold and bundle up for the holiday season.
Yes, for me, snow is when you can start playing Christmas music. So
exactly.
Yes.
Well, it's cooling down here, but Dave, is it heating up in sports?
Yeah, there's some good sports stuff, but unfortunately for BYU, one athlete may not be able to help his team in the upcoming NCAA championships. We'll talk about that. And freshman showdown. 2 stellar first-year players faced off in Chicago last night, and they came to impress. And monster jams. The Miami Heat held their own slam dunk contest in Miami last night. I'll show you the action when we come back. The BYU men's cross-country team is ranked number 5 in the nation and eyeing a shot at winning the national championship later this month. But they may have to do it without a key contributor. Jared Ward was deemed ineligible by the NCAA because of his participation in a recreational run back in 2009. To help us make sense of the situation, sports reporter Skylar Hardman joins us. Skylar, what exactly did Ward do?
Well, Ward chose to serve an LDS mission right out of high school, which is totally cool with the NCAA, except for he's not allowed to train in a competitive way to gain an advantage for when he returns to school. And they're saying by competing in this costume-optional fun run 5K right after he returned from his mission before enrolling in classes, he gained a competitive edge.
So what specifically about this run was a violation of the NCAA rules?
Well, this run was organized. It wasn't like some friends got together and ran a race. He went to support a family member. They invited him to participate in the 5K, and by so doing, he was ruled ineligible.
The NCAA National Championships, Skylar, are just over 1 week away. Is there any hope for BYU that Ward can compete for the Cougars?
There are very slim chances. He's been ineligible all year and hasn't been competing. The rule basically is that he broke the standard. He's appealed the ruling twice, though, and both times the NCAA hasn't budged. Occasionally, with enough public backlash, the NCAA has changed their mind and given players an additional year of eligibility, so there is an outside chance.
All right, well, it seems like that may be one of those situations. We'll hope for the best. Thanks for joining us, Skylar. All right, speaking of athletes not competing for the Cougs, remember this kid? Jabari Parker announced in front of a nationwide audience last December that he would attend Duke University. Now we're less than 1 week into the season, and he's already making waves nationally. Last night he was back home in the Windy City, taking on fellow freshman phenom Andrew Wiggins. These are the top 2 rated freshmen in America, and they showed up early on. Here's Wiggins with the slam. Later in the first quarter, Jabari Parker with the steal. Now he's going to sing, "Anything you can do, I can do better." Flips it up and in. 2 points for Parker. Later in the half, from downtown, Jabari Parker, #1 for 3. Got it. 27 points on the night for Parker. Now in the second half, boom goes the dynamite. Parker doing everything in Chicago, but Wiggins would have the last laugh. The Jayhawks with the steal. Wiggins with the ball and one. Kansas wins the game. Now let's watch the big boys play, and play they did. LeBron James with the flip pass to Mario Chalmers for the easy layup. But Mario, my man, we want dunks like this. Dwayne Wade with the pass to Mike Beasley. Get used to seeing that, because later in the half, Heat in transition, LeBron in the sky. So good, we got to look again. Pretty pass. Pretty catch, pretty play. LeBron not done. Here late in the game, fakes the 3, fakes the pass, slam. Heat win big in Miami. The West Coast wants in on the action. Here's Steve Blake to Jordan Hill. Not bad, but we'll see better later on. Now Blake again to Pau Gasol for the smooth jumper. Now when I have a beard, people tell me I look like Pau Gasol. I'll take that as a compliment. Here in the third quarter, Lakers moving the ball. Xavier Henry moving the Richter scale. It's a 10.0 in Los Angeles. Someone turned that into a poster. It's all smiles in La La Land. Sad news this morning out of Provo. Former BYU football star Todd Christensen passed away after fighting liver disease and other severe illnesses. Christensen was a 4-year starting running back for the Cougars in the 70s and went on to have a stellar career with the Oakland Raiders as a tight end. Todd Christensen was 57 years old. We'll be right back.
Now, whether it was well-planned or just plain lucky, one Missouri boy will never have a hard time remembering his exact birthday. 8-pound Carson Lee was born at 9:10 in the morning on November 12th of 2013. If you're keeping track, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Carson's dad is a math teacher, so he was happy about the play on numbers. He says his wife is good at planning, but maybe not that good.
That's so fun. My best friend also had a baby last night. It wasn't quite 8, 9, 10 all the way through 13, but it's still a sweet birthday.
It's got to be a lucky birthday. And, you know, not only will he not forget it, but his parents won't forget it, his siblings. It'll be an easy one to remember for sure.
So do you think he's going to be a mathematician too now?
He's got to be. The numbers are predicting it.
That's 11 News at noon for Wednesday, November 13th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.